Yeah, now works fine. I hate. There you go.
But the boys are doing now. Nope.
Why not like bring one of these local?
Hey.
I can duplicate it.
I can't just imagine a gathering. Stoic. Yeah, they don't emote a lot. Mm. Oh, that's sweet. Oh. It's not working. Yeah.
Thanks for the follow, Drake. How you doing? Just joined. What are we doing today? Assets. We're doing the boring stuff. The boring stuff that makes the game ultimately feel awesome. So, I'm going to be working on building a plugin for GLTF imports, so I can do a lot of my like colliders and things in Blender. Try to build like a very interesting like Blender workflow that automatically kind of assembles prefabs and things like that for the station. So we'll be spending like a lot of time the next couple of months working on this, what I'm calling like, you know, the optimal making a dynamic space game workflow. But so, you know, now that everything is kind of, I guess back to normal, back to, you know, normal as far as the game is concerned. Here's that empty test scene that we were in before, but notice something different about it. Right, the ship is in. Right, so now the old ship can become the new ship. Right, now the old hangar that looked like crap can become the new, you know, the final art hangar. And I was hoping like when I got to this point, it would be like a new version of Unidot, and we would have run through the assets again from Unity one more time. But I don't really think there's going to be one. So I think really I'm going to start just, you know, doing re-exports of some of the assets, and like some of these animation trees work perfectly coming into Unity, from Unity. Others, things didn't work out, you know, but it doesn't really matter. Right, it would have been a time saver, and it turned out to not be a time saver. You know, it still saves me a bunch of time, but right. So yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do. Right, we're gonna get things kind of back, you know, to where we were on the Unity build. So everything is here, everything's imported. You know, we have in this build now everything at our disposal. And a lot of things like colliders and stuff like that don't behave the same way they do in Unity. They need to be masked more appropriately. And so, you know, other than cleaning up, you know, getting the ship working and everything like that, I have a secondary project here called Asset Workflow, and I'm going to build a plugin in C# that's going to, while I'm importing, you know, while I do a GLTF import, we're going to have some custom parsing happening by name. And if it has like dash, let's say like, you know, dash, I don't remember half of the things, but I want to be able to set the physics layers and physics masks and stuff like that in Blender is the idea. The idea is like I want to be able to create a collider in Blender and just size it, and by default in Blender it'll be like just a white box, you know, or not white box, a wireframe collider, and I can set my properties on it and save it, and then in Godot it'll just magically work. Like that's kind of the, you know, the workflow that I want to kind of see, so that way you know, from the design perspective I can kind of like know that things are working from the very get-go. And assets can also be tested with Python. So there's like, I don't know, there's lots of gains. You know, I could use geometry nodes then to create dynamic, you know, object references to like the same prefab. And then in Godot, you know, it would just make sure that, hey, this is all an instance of the same prefab. Let's not, you know, re-import it a million times. Let's just assume that it's an empty and just, you know, pull in that module. So I can like lay out entire stations and things, you know, in Blender, and just have them import. So that's like my thought process. But it's really just spending half of the time actually doing work, on just literally, and then half the time developing automation to not have to do the work that we're doing, because I still need to reach the specific targets, um, with the project, and it's not really that much manual work, but Uh, is the built-in physics good enough for no janky movement within fast traveling ships, or do you have to fake it like you do with separate static scenes? I don't know, because I think a lot of the issues right now are simply that like they're all on the same physics layer, and the behavior is not being correctly set up, and I want to explore that in Blender. So like, what I want to do today is grab a box, like these tests with both the importer and will answer all these things, right? Like I want to, kind of create as an example. So like, just let's assume that we had like this kind of nonsense happen. Let me go in.
You like upstairs?
There. Oh, thanks for doing the work on that then. Well, that's the idea, is so I want to make a rigid body that we can just push around, right? And I want to create some intentional overlap, right? Because what happens in because and this is kind of my thought process, right? Like, because I will spend a lot of time on this. Like in Blender, on game objects, we go to our object data. So we could do custom properties, and we can set the custom property to be anything. So what I think I'm going to do is make an add-on for Blender, where we can do like, because it could be anything. It could be a data block, a string, a boolean int array of flags. I don't, it could be a data block, but like, let's say like, because the integer array would be pretty much just a boolean. Right, this could be collision layers, and then collision masks. Array length is 32, whatever. Min max. Right, so like, they could all be 0 by default. This probably won't make too much sense. Let me just edit this again real quick. Collision layers. Set 0. I want it to actually have the default. Oh, I've already made them. Hang on, hold on. 32. Maybe we can give them like an enumerated value type. But anyway, all this can be customized too. But my idea is, because we can just read a blend file anyway, or a GLTF file. I don't know if we can do custom data types. I'm going to try to figure it out, but so I either want to find a way to do a custom export or do a custom import. Right, but either way, like, we can create custom data properties in Blender, and we can kind of like define whether like the whole parent game object is a rigid body or not. I would like to get the workflow up to a point where I can just create colliders that are like just a custom type in Blender. So like when you go and create one, it would automatically make it wire but it would make it like, you know, blue or whatever color we want it to be. And, you know, just to kind of make things easy, right? For setting up like environments and things like that. So that's my, you know, my thought process, because I think if I can at least work with it in Blender, you know, if there's any weird edge cases where we do need to make custom colliders or, you know, make sure that they're not like, you know, overlapping or whatnot, you know, then we could just, you know, fix it, you know, in Blender. You know what I mean? So, you know, or be able to join meshes together, or, you know, vice versa. We're workflow improvements. We're making workflow. Right, so that's what I want. I want to figure out like what happens when we have like multiple colliders that are on the same collision layer, but they are technically interacting with each other, and like, you know, how are you doing, Index? Your GPU started active artifacting in CS2. Oh, so what you're saying is you're going to be making a you're going to be getting a new graphics card soon. But you can't get it to crash on anything else.
It's wonderful. I am going to stop. That's actually exactly what
So I did a DDU and reinstall, game reinstall, and it hasn't been crashing since.
so I now have to switch. Yep. So yeah, I got distracted.
I gotta mute Wiz's server.
Before the other kids come back, I'm going to pass the day. I do think it is enough standard. They won't. This is how stupid it is.
Projects go asset workload. Okay. Assets, models, test assets. Go GLB. Go.
Yeah.
Hey, David. We're working on workflow stuff today. I'm doing good.
Yeah. Exactly. So we could just do it and put it in practice. Yeah. So it's already.
Just smoking, watching, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Making a deal for some premium Hot Wheels. Cool.
Cool. I do have. I have two.
Let's see.
And I've got 3 4-level slots. Master will restoration, and then my 2 Wraith and Father anti-dimensional Wraith.
Yeah, dash rigid.
Yeah, I can tell.
Should work.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. So I will cast it at 5th level, so that will be 20.
Oh, RID, PID?
So in that case, just I'm gonna
No, just how I had it spelled.
remove.
Just rigid.
Extra wounds. I'm not.
Right.
Just because. Oh, no, there's no. When I have the ingredients, the components, I wonder if it's maybe something. If the focus. Yeah.
No,
the
it's still not a
focus
rigid
on
body.
these
Wait a second.
such as a crystal wall, silver mirror, or cocktail, to hold water. So I don't. I really think I. Yeah. Right. So,
Yeah, so it's still not really doing it. Well, the colliders are coming in, but they're coming in under the static mesh.
Right.
What am I up to? I'm making colliders in Blender that are going to automatically import into Godot, right? And the way it works by default is in Godot, if you give your names, you know what I mean? Like you do dash vehicle, it'll automatically import it, you know, as a vehicle body. Or, you know, if it's rigid, it'll be imported as a rigid body. That's how it works by default. I want to extend this to do much, much, much more than just this. Right? Now, is it the mesh name or the object name? Because it might necessarily just be the mesh name.
Like banishment, just and then pass it maybe. I know.
Because there isn't a mesh on an empty.
Right? Yeah, it is. So how about the new banishment?
It might have to be like something.
Yeah. I know, but yeah. So that my choice is vanished. So I've got so that's done. So I can still oh. Yeah.
No rigid body world. Add a rigid body
that's
to.
that's all. That's a goal for me.
So let's give this guy.
That and white. Or two. You come back. When you drop, you come back. Yeah. Yeah. But you don't. Like,
single vert. Oh, okay, hang on.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. So I'll put I've got chicken at third or sorry at fourth level. Yeah, it's an 8 hour. See, that's the thing. It's 8 hours. It's really big. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah. And I got some of that too. Well, I made nice. I made a beef stew in the slow cooker today, and it was so good. So yeah, so that's the fourth level we do, and then
I'm gonna set up.
the minute the crowd come up, I get spirit burning, and then just say, no, I'm just. Yeah. And Bane is always kept possessing of his safety in himself. That involves him jumping according to it.
So it's still not a rigid.
Also concentration up to an hour, which is one. You don't concentrate on your. Yeah.
Add a mesh node with a rigid suffix. It'll be imported as rigid body. Use occlusion only, use nav mesh. Collider only can also be used with empty objects. On import, it will create a static body 3D with a collision shape. Collision node
Jeff,
will have
yeah,
one
not Jeff.
of the defined shapes depending on the blender's empty draw type. Choosing a draw type on the empty. Well, what is an empty cube then?
Yeah.
Oh. And okay, a static body with a collision node. I know the node. The collision node will have one of a number of predefined shapes depending on the draw type. Use the draw type from the empty blender scene. Cool. So it'll try to do a box shape instead. If we use those. It doesn't know what shape it is. Because it's still just an empty, it doesn't have any data. But yet it has a volume. And it can be scaled. But you can't edit it. Okay, so it is just a display. Cool. Okay, so that could have been an empty. But why isn't dash rigid working? Does it need to have a space or anything? Or is it the relationship? Oh, thanks. Like I said, lots of messing around. But everything that I can automate is something I don't need to do. Right? If we can make convex or unique colliders dynamically, you know what I mean? Like it would speed up a lot of internal kit design. And it's still not a rigid body. So I'm curious. So let's do another. Oh, not a collection. Yeah, let me do another empty. This one will be a cube empty. And I'm not putting anything under it. We're just gonna call it literally test rigid cube dash rigid. I wanna see if it just works without a child. No. So it's definitely coming in as a dot. But what's weird is that was working. Rigid was working before. Like that was a thing that we had done, but like numerous times in, you know, early prototyping. But I was leaking. Let me mute for a second. There's a quick way to mute.
serpentine with eerie grace. Then drink once more from the river winding.
Thank you. Thanks, Fixius. So this, yeah, thanks, chat, leaving me muted here with the music. No, this has been 7 weeks of porting it over from Unity. So I had to remake a lot of the networking systems, redo a lot of the art assets, but originally it was a Unity project called Unforgiven Space. It is a space trucking simulator. Leaving Unity for Godot, tale as old as time, exactly. But yeah, this is the this is what the game looks like. You know, you're pretty much just a space trucker in space, buying cargo and moving it from you know, place to place. It is full multiplayer. So think of it like playing like Sea of Thieves. You know, like you can spawn in your ship. There's cargo terminals that you can load cargo from in each of the locations, right? So it's kind of like it's meant to be a late 70s, early 80s aesthetic for everything. Kind of like a strip mall. Here's a Sagellian's Pizza. Smaller scale, yeah. Right? It's playable, you know. Well, subjectively playable. But I do a build on Patreon every single Sunday, so you know the idea is you can actually here gotta turn off let me turn off the panels here. Right, so every aspect of the ship can be removed and replaced. We can take off the fuel intake or fuel scoop. Power plant, coolers. It's alright. Right, and yeah. Leaning towards sim or arcade sim. Yeah, no, it's very much sim-like. Think of it like, you know, you're playing American Truck Sim in space with pirates, you know? And so, like, the idea here, we'll get in here and right, so all of the player is a first-person experience. We have our tractor beam. We could buy cargo, you know, put it on the ship. It's every single aspect of the ship is modular, so we could take off, you know, all the components, put them on. Right, I can go buy components. Let me ignore some of the IK jitter. Let's sit over here, right? And just probably buy a couple of these pry lasers. I'll put a different one on the ship. I mean, they're all the same, but you know. And everything is like, you know, if we, the idea is we have, you know, projectile. We have our little main terminal, which is kind of our like main menu for like reputation, all that kind of stuff. What was it? Oh yeah, let me kind of show you the chip customization.
It's a rental.
Right, so, you know, gravity and everything is all dynamic. We have dynamic gravity volumes. There's like a ship that I can blow up, but we're gonna just take this thing and stick it in the hanging. Thanks for the follow, Pot. Oh, I just clicked out. So this is what I mean by the customization. So like, here's the power plant. And we want to make a better power plant as an example. I do all these. So like, you know, here's a replacement power plant. Bad lighting, I know. But we can take this fuel intake, right, and we can stick it onto the power plant in the item slot. We can take our fuel scoop and we can attach that. And now we can take our, you know, our engine and we get the show that into place. You know, pull off. You know, if you're pirating, you could just literally take their their fuel. So that's kind of like, you know, how things play out. Everything's physical, right? NPCs are capable of flying their own ships. And other than it looking really bad right now because we're, you know...
Nice.
But let me show you kind of... You know, how the IK and stuff looks by using the multiplayer build. But to give you an idea of the actual aesthetic, you know, like here's a speeder bike that I'm working on. Right, so I want to reach, you know, like this level of detail, right? And this is not a very complicated big level of detail, but you know, I want everything to be very mechanical and you know, kind of you know, and physical, so that way when you're actually, you know, riding it, you know, it'll kind of feel cool, you know. How far into the Godot port are you? I'm pretty much done. In Unity, when I was let's bring up the Unforgiven systems. I'm pretty much where I was, not like fully implemented, but like all the assets are in the project, and all the gray box just needs to be replaced with the actual, you know, high detail models.
Yeah.
So we'll use this one as an example.
No, because he
And it's a wonderful world. There's a lot of design that goes into my stuff.
Well, tell me you
not just
asked me.
visually, but just from
I heard you
lore
asked
and
me.
practicality. And
So why wouldn't I?
so
Yeah,
you know,
so
here we
why
have
wouldn't I
100 synced
apply
NPCs.
And also.
We have our player.
Sure.
So do you like imposters? Do you like imposters? Oh, mechanic designer. Do I like like fake stuff? You mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I like to like when I'm designing. I like to see like if it could physically work. You know, I try to take instead of using full assets for performance reasons. Oh, for my own testing. Yeah. Because like right now, especially rewriting things in Unity, you know what is super important right now is the performance of everything. You know, like even like this data pad. You know, getting all the IK and stuff working in multiplayer. You know, so if you see an NPC and they have their data pad out, you know, and they're like, because there's like hacking mechanics in the game for, you know, the idea is like you can hook up to a terminal and see what ships were last there. You could hook up to a terminal, and I was trying to use my stuff to practice mechanics, and I found it was hell to use my 200k poly 4 material avatar. I just hold my breath and I push play. Man, you be like the auto lods of Godot are surprisingly good. You know, like in my test project here, I actually left some of the modifiers on. Let me go into. I'll show you some planet tech stuff here. So in that hover racing demo, I intentionally left, and this doesn't look that great. Here's some different variations of what I'm working on for the sand planet. So we'll just ignore that. Pretend none of that is real. You know, like, you know, this, you know, these assets here as an example, like when I imported these, I left on the subdivision modifier. And once we come out, you see the LODs kick in, and it's pretty good. Like, I didn't think of even using imposters while designing. Yeah, well, I did that in Unity too. In Unity, I was like, oh my god, I gotta make this the best looking game ever, blah, 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 blah. No one fucking cares. Like, nobody cares. All that matters, really, is that you get the build to the community. The community plays the build, and then the community gives you feedback of like, oh, I like this, I don't like this, this is fun, this is not fun. Now, everything is graphically the minimum viable product to give to the community to give you feedback, and it's just understood, kind of. That's my process. Like, it's just understood, that every single Sunday I'm doing a build, and the build's going to have these new things. It's probably going to run like shit, and if it does run like shit, what's that? I'm just a hobby guy learning all different aspects. I like how you're like a one-man army, not to beat people do it all. I don't want to be a one-man army. I want to be a manager. I am fully treating this as a business and a business model, and I fully plan, if it takes off and I get to a vertical slice level, to hire an artist and, like focus. I still want to be involved in core like network infrastructure, obviously, but like I really it's not important to me that I make everything. It's important to me that my vision is realized, if that makes sense. That I create this world. You know what I mean? This universe. Like, it's not important to me, that I'm the one to make the networking stack. It's important to me that like the universe of Unforgiven space feels the way that it needs to feel for the player playing it. Right? And that's weird that that's like the most important thing, but that is the most important thing. When the game hates them, like when they're stranded and they're adrift, and they're like, fuck this game, that even that has to be like an intentional aspect of the game's opposition against you. You know what I mean? I could only dream. I just like asking people what sort of visual things they want to create, because I don't. And like, I still always work within my own limitations. Like, I don't have materials on everything, like as far as textures go. I made this shader, to emulate Blender's shader. So I did do that. I can do technical stuff. But like, I really try to keep things, very basic, to a certain, degree. Because I just don't have time, like all that matters. Like, it's weird, but it's kind of, it seems like I'm doing a lot, and to a certain extent, I guess I am. But I do try to follow my own little click up. I try to keep to my own promises, and just just go through what I feel that we need right now, and then get it in. Like, I took a break and I made the elevator system. Like, I'm gonna do a skybox weather thing for my world because someone said they need to figure out optimize weather. Yeah. Like, it's right. I try not to break the bank, and one of the things that has helped me the most is I never went into tutorial hell. I only learned what I needed to know, and I leave that ignorance on the table. Like, eventually I will go into Substance Painter and I'll start making edgeware and I'll learn how to do materials. Is materials important to me right now? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? There's so much stuff I had to create in a primitive fashion that, when am I going to have time to do that, right? So, like, I'm kind of like simultaneously I'm picking at all these little test projects. So I'm, you know what I mean? I'm learning how to like do, dynamic, runtime terrain generation, and I'm putting in the research and development, to actually, be able to kind of create the world that I want to create. But I'm also, you know what I mean? And that comes from forced experience. Like, my models looked like shit last year. So you're saying we're shipping next week? We ship every week, right? That's the thing. we just ship every week. You know, no matter if it's broken. If it's broken, play the last build. You know what I mean? I'm not holding you to it. You know, if you don't have to play the latest build, like all that matters is you know, for those that care about the project, who are a Patreon, like you know, you can download it, provide the feedback needed for whatever it is I'm trying to test. Right now, I'm just putting assets together. I'm trying to make this look good now to get to a vertical slice level because you know, the Patreon community, as an example, do want their characters to look like they used to look, you know? So it's cool that things work, that NPCs are synced, that the ships fly, you know? It's cool that everything is working twice as good as it used to, if you think about it. But I want to kind of make sure that I deliver what we already had, you know? You know, that's important, you know, because then once they, as a player, you know, like feel that things are back to where they are, well, they'll have more confidence in the project, and of course, then they'll start seeing things. I added a lot of cool stuff that's going in, you know, the build soon, like, and they're just things that I made on the stream for prototyping because I had to learn. Like the thing is, I don't just make one game. You know what I mean? I build little tiny projects that really you know, help me teach stuff in an isolated environment. Understand. So what is important to me is like eventually like having all my own stuff. Yep. And if you're like doing VR, like that's you know, like it's nice to have. Just don't reinvent the wheel. Like if there's packages that already exist that do everything you want to do, just use them. Because at the end of the day, it's only about creating the experience you want to create. The technology doesn't really mean anything. Learning, baking custom material captures. Because like for everything that there is, there's a tool. You know? You can get bakery in Unity and just like, you know, use some RTX cores, bake everything out into a light map and use it. So this is my you know, fully working. Dan, I don't know if you're still here. Check. I don't know if you saw. I think you saw the pool. But this is the you know, working. Who are we hosting? No, I do my own infrastructure. So I right now have a server. It's just a quad Xeon. It's with OVH. So I'm running my own hypervisor on it. It's KVM. And then on top of that, I'm pretty much doing a Kubernetes cluster. So the idea, I'll explain very primitively. So I use Agnes, and what, you know, the reason why I like Agnes, or why I think this is going to work, is there's a wonderful C# SDK, and the idea is that depending on what system you're in, you know, there'll be a PCK file for that system, and whenever we want to run a server or an instance for that one space, you know, system, it'll grab the associated PCK file and then pretty much spin up that instance in a Docker container. So pretty much like the idea is when you go to a jump gate and you request a jump gate, you know where, you know, what other system you're going to go to anyway, because I mean that's the jump gate only goes one way, right? Like it only goes to that same other system, and it'll ask the system, hey, is there like an instance running for that one, you know, star system? Oh, there's not. I'm going to spin one up, right? So it'll spin one up, and you know, you'll get the request of like, oh, you know, one is now running. You make the connection, and then you just kind of pass over, and you know, your world unloads, new system loads in, and there you go. Because it's easier that way. If every any game could use Agnes. There's a wonderful Unity, but it's just like, let me show you my virtual box. Like really terrible. Yeah, so let me run. So I'm just running Minikube here with VirtualBox. This is really, yeah, you use Kubernetes at work. Yeah, like I need something really, not like simple, but scalar. right? Because I need the infrastructure to be able to communicate with, you know, the instances that are running, and I need the servers themselves to be able to communicate back with, you know, that management platform to determine what state needs to happen. Like, if there's no players, like, in an instance, kill the instance. You know what I mean? It's you know, really, really, you know, simple, right? And we're not, like, we're not doing server meshing. We're just running multiple instances. There's too many players. We just scale more instances per region, and then that's it, right? We just have our regional servers. You know, we're spinning up instances as players log in. And I was learning how to diffuse seamless and file formats for alpha, bit depth, how compression works. Nice. Yeah, I'm not even there yet when it comes to like optimizing like material workflow, because I half want to do like a lot of it as a single material type shader. TGAs are big though. There's a whole like there's a new format. What the hell was it? That was in maybe there were TGAs for 32-bit alpha. Only when transparency is used in Unity. Right, I just want to keep things like super basic and simple. Is this even running? I mean, look at it. That's so slow. Steven VirtualBox, man. Anyway, I was gonna show you the command line, like the GUI for Agnes and how it works with the deployment, but it's just being slow, and yeah. But yeah, so like, you know, here we have you know, fully working synced pool game, which will be in not the next build, but it'll be in the build where, you know, everything's back to where it was as a little option. So the idea being, right now anybody can play the pool game, but whichever players interact with the table, it'll like just register those players until the game is over. And then, you know, 2 more players, just first come, first serve, you know, point at the table, click, and then you can play pool. And then anyone else observing, you know, they won't be able to play pool until it's done. Very, very, very simple. I think, you know, it's fine. I don't have any of the rules of pool. It just automatically racks everything when it's over. It's pretty straightforward. I spent like a week researching formats, MIPS, bit depth, realized I won't be making games, just objects and scripts used in games for now. I guess you're doing VR stuff in Unity, is the assumption. I'm like years and years behind you. Okay, cool. Man, I've been loving VR in Godot, and I think with Meta throwing a whole bunch of money on the table and pushing it, you know, to make it easier for people to make meta games in Godot, it's going to it's going to go crazy. But that's what I'm playing around with, and I'm using. No way, that agreement already exists. That's already a partnership. Because do you know how easy? You know, it's a checkbox, right? There's actually an OpenXR hand, left and right, and an OpenXR camera, and it's fully chrono-spec, full OpenXR integration. It even has test projects for hands and everything. You know, you have all the same C# support. I made a full body VR controller in a weekend because one of the guys, like, they haven't seen. I can literally just export and try their pipeline. Unidot is a really good tool for moving things over. It's made by Fire in the community, but it just works, man. It's impressive as hell. Let me like I know this is like let me find my controllers. There's one here. Allow me to squirrel. We can afford we can afford the squirrel here and there, you know. But nothing wrong with a little bit of squirreling. Wherever I go. I knew people were doing VR stuff, but I didn't know it'd be any platform outside of like a polling your own game. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, like, you know, Godot's just open source and, you know, doesn't cost you anything. But it's literally a checkbox to enable it. I'm gonna just oh, dude, think of what meta games, right? Like Google is currently paying for the corporation that's responsible for optimizing games like Starfield. They are a Vulkan low-level like optimization company, and pretty much Google is paying them to fully optimize Vulkan on Godot for mobile games, which also includes Android builds for VR. And now Meta is joining forces. So that way, like if you just make a Godot game and deploy it to MetaQuest, you know, Facebook just don't want to pay any fees, right? You don't have to go, you can cut out the middleman. Just support the game engine directly and then get rid of the middleman. Screw Unity, screw runtime fees. You know, we're going to start seeing that kind of really take off. So this is a really very dumb example. I created like so we literally by default in project settings, you know, we go down to XR and we just enable it. Right? We set up our hand action. We're going to be head mounted stereo. I'm still using forward plus here, but you know, glaze detection, hand tracking. So that's it. And then we get a XR camera. We get we get our XR, you know, left and right hand, and you know that's pretty much left hand, right hand. They're just game objects, and you know, and I can enable multiplayer for this. I can go crazy on multiplayer. You know, it's all the same stuff. Like I plan to use it to make Unforgiven Space VR, but we're not going to talk about that until I actually get it like working really well. But like, let me just show you like what this is like. I'll take off my glasses here, and hopefully we'll get loaded in here. And I'm hoping I actually do have this stuff still plugged in, because there's a possibility that I've unplugged it. There's new drivers. Okay, thanks. Let me please make sure. Never mind, but we're gonna be waiting for that. But like, so iFire, who's a guy on in the Godot community, has been working like pretty much on systems to bring in all the VRM characters, and you know, like once, because I think once this takes off, people will start making, and you can like literally take in your normal VR chat avatars and stuff. People will start creating standards. Please restart your computer. I'm not going to. I'm just going to redo the app and relaunch the. Let's see if this works now. Come on. You can do it. Oh, it wants me to do a play area. I don't want to do a play area. 1 second. Ugh. Fine. Don't care. Reset the controllers. The only thing I don't like about the thanks, skip, acknowledge. Okay, so check this out. I know you guys probably can't see it that well. Maybe I can bring this into a weird perspective here. But so this I've made a literal, you know, full body. Hello there. Are you dead? Oh, you're not dead. Right, like a full body rig. you know, that I can actually kind of use. All the IK is working. You know, I don't know. I gotta probably look down true myself because what you're seeing is not actually accurate. But you know, it's just a beginning. You know what I mean? Like it still works fine as far as like you know the IK and stuff like that. You know. Right. So full body rig totally doable. I need to IK the chest so the head can obviously be you know mounted and the root at your feet is accurate. But and of course I don't really have any of the you know the hand bones are kind of not quite right. But it doesn't you know it doesn't really matter. It doesn't take that much work to get it all working. So it's like there's nothing complicated about it. No, not from a technical perspective. Like you're not writing your own IK solutions. You're not, you know, you're just using what's there. There is IK support. Right, they're a tracking. You have to add a tracking device. You know, it's like a XR origin, XR anchor, and I might speak too soon, but I know there is a. Yeah, that's the anchor point. Tracker. Okay, mind blown. Yeah, don't quote me on that last bit, but it you know, just it's being worked on. It works, you know. Like you can be in VR in Godot, and that I think that's a big deal, you know, because you know soon we'll have VR on everything, you know, Linux even. Yeah, I can use my own multiplayer system. Like I could take this character, add in all of the same synchronization points, so just synchronize the position and rotation of the hands and the XR camera, and of course the player body itself, and then boom, you know what I mean? And because you're IK tracking the hands, all of the IK works. Like so, what you're seeing in IK, they're seeing in IK. You know, it'd be no big deal to get that kind of thing working well. You know, it's just, is it going to be like Unity level? No, not really. They still need like face tracking. They still need like a bunch of, you know, there's still things needed, but they're not like, they're not crazy. You can still use something like VC face or anything that can feed in plane shapes, you know, to a model head is going to just work. So, which is pretty much what a lot of the other tools do. We literally just sit around in basic rows loading in assets we make and share with each other from Blender, yeah. Yeah, you could totally do that. Streaming in assets would be a bit slow, but you know. Yeah, that's the beauty, you know. I mean, when Godot's open source, they can make their own private build of Godot if they want to, but you know, it's MIT. So anyway, that's some insight into VR. Hopefully, that is you know some food for thought. And I actually need to. We gotta get back to work. We where were we? Oh yeah, no, I was optimizing this ship. Well, that's what. So let me show you. So iFire. Ernest is working on this project. It's called Recentii. So check this out. What's good? Hey, Kool-Aid. Right, so this is what they're working on. Like these guys are kind of working, you know, with Godot on just you know VR features, and they have like a ton of stuff. Like iFire is a great Godot contributor who made Unidot for importing, you know, stuff from Unity directly into Godot. It's what's enabled me to bring in all my own assets and you know quickly play catch up. Ah, we're doing good, Kool-Aid. Yeah, I need to get these modules broken out. Yeah, and I think... Yeah, like a lot of these need to open and like kind of like just close again, just so that all the paths are now correct. And like a lot of stuff needs to not be editable. They just need to be instances of the other pay paths. Oh. Yeah, let's put our ship snap points. Wait, why are we not uniform in scale? Oh. Hello from tablet. Hey, Antics. Welcome to the remaking of the game. Server rack time. Server rack time, yeah. Wait, what? What is the second one for? Oh, just to block the actual player. That makes sense. Oh, okay, cool. It looks like I'll be making my world and updating it offline now that I know they can be done like this. Well, the great thing is the GLTF workflow for Godot is really good. Okay. And I think that was all the modules. Where's my life support module? I haven't actually seen the life support module installed. Yeah, I guess I never used it. Because it's really hard to have full eye care of your immersion in what the world is really like. I can't just tell from play mode, VR view, and Unity. Okay, so now the interior. Like I still have hidden colliders that's still missing with the ship. Even though we've gone through pretty much everything at this point. But it's not the right thing. Wait, that's a visual layer, not a collision layer. Wait, did I not do mesh collider? Oh, it's an area 3D. For the shields. Yeah, I don't think that's going to affect. Anyway, it was a shield mesh glider, so that goes on 9. Masking 9. 9, area 3D, non-rollable, looks for planes. So that's for the right engine. Yeah, it's on layer 1 for visual, but the mesh glider is on 9. Okay. Yeah, I think it's gonna have growing pains. I think Godot VR is still gonna have good growing pains as that's what the money's for. You know what I mean? The money's for making it work good, right? Meta cares about making money, and if Godot is free, and they can just throw money at Godot developers to just help improve the workflow of getting games working, for Meta, to run on Meta, then it's just going to be a win-win. So what are these shields? Okay, those are the main shield shapes. Right, okay. Now, are they on 9? Yeah, they look like it. Mesh ladder, mesh ladder. Yeah, I wonder can we have a static body with multiple child collision meshes for a static body 3D? Okay, so we totally can. Yeah, so we can organize these. These came from Unity, but I can take all these collision shapes and just put them under one static body. Like, let's take this initial one, whichever one's the main body. This one. Yeah, so we take this one, move it here, call it shield body. Call this one arc body shape. And like at some point we might need the mesh renderer, but I don't think we do. Nice. Because that's a clear separation of what I want to use them for. Right, they're just literally like hitting the shield. They could actually be less primitive. They could be more primitive than that, but we can adjust that later. Now, these, same thing. And I'm going to kill the collisions on the ship for the time being. And they're the underside components, so I'm not going to be doing these. Yeah, we could make them. Yeah, we could switch them to what they are. Yeah, and I think this needs to be much more simpler as well. But there is possibility these might just be the models, and I might add it to the existing, you know, the one I've already made. I might just go into it and swap out the model, and not let these be the rigid bodies, but for now. Just gonna be statically frozen. Those wheels are gonna look so good with mesh deforming. Oh. Yeah, so how'd you have the item port? Well, let's get rid of this one for now. Mesh deforming. I'm not sure too much about the mesh deforming yet. The collisions are just so they can, you know, fall on the ground, be moved, exist. Like somewhere here there's a collider hitting another collider. And I don't know which one of them is responsible for it, but there's a single ship, there's a single component left here that's not on the right layer. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of them. Stopping me from having my ship flyable tomorrow. Hey, why are you not in Area 3D? You were in old item port. I was trying to make a sphere sort of deform while it's gliding with the ground, like a blob that rolls. Yeah, it's a bit complicated. You can deal with shaders, but you still need to be able to kind of... You can kind of scale it. Yeah, so this one that's on there is now in Area 3D. And I think we can generate a more simpler one. Oh wow, that is the simpler one? No way. I mean, I don't need that much topology. Oh, that one was more simple. Yeah. Oh yeah, that one's way better. Everything always leads me back to Go Shaders because expensive. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, does that mean we can actually generate this one to be a little bit more effective? Let me see. Oh yeah, we totally can. That might be too simple. Hard to tell. You know what? That's actually not that bad. Better if I made one myself. I could kind of get one that's a bit low. This is kind of random. Yeah, I'll just make one. Mobile doesn't like collision detects and mesh deforms. Yeah, I've never seen mesh deforms, even in Unity, as something that was like out of the box. Probably never looked very hard though, that said. Battery, are you the problem? Nope. So I think that's it. I've kind of audited all of these. Fuel tanks are fine. And Hey, we're like running out of options. But the ship has got to be soon stable. Like, what am I hitting? Like, why won't... Oh, the door being closed. Oh, yeah, there is a door that's closed here. Okay, that's fine. What? I pulled the rack off, apparently. Oh, that's fine. This method appears to be expensive, though. Expensive through all shaders is the way to go. Ultimately, everything you're seeing now is a shader. Like the standard, like the URP itself is just a set of default shaders that the default material is using. In Godot, it's interesting. You can actually make a material, and you can actually just convert that material back into its original shader, and then you can edit the shader, which is kind of cool. Yeah, we could just turn all of that off. Oh yeah, lighting is lighting good now. Can I delete lighting from the child? Yes, I can. Yeah, and we're just gonna use the basic one. Doesn't have pistons, but it works. Yeah, pretty much. There's you can do pretty much the same shaders on Godot. You know, here's a one-to-one shader graph version that I did. Right, so here is my shader that I use for orbit lines. It has unlimited detail because it's just a shader. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause you don't want to use topology for doing circles. That'd be dumb. If I go into this shader, if I compare this to my Unity version, it's exactly the same. I had to I had to use let's see, there's a few differences. No, maybe not. Yeah, no, this is all exactly the same. So yeah, So there's visual shaders, you know, totally you can just go play with and create whatever you want, right? There's just like there's stuff not missing. There's just like there might be things that in Unity it would be one node, and in Godot you might have to take like an input, right? So you might have to take, let's say you want like some weird, I'm trying to think of a scenario, but like if you want to get your eye, you know, node position or your camera position and some other random matrix, and you kind of like multiply them or whatever, like to do something. Unity might call that a node, and you might have to make it. Not make it yourself, but you know, like the default shaders are visual, so you can convert the code. Yeah, I think that's awesome. I actually think that's like super cool. How to get my glasses? There we go. I have vision. Anyway, guys, it's 12:30. Damn, time's flying. Tomorrow we'll be live and we'll do a build. Like I said, I don't know what's going to be in tomorrow's build. I really wanted to have players fly their own ship, but let me before we go, let's unfreeze the ship and see if it all works. Because technically it's the same ship. All I did was put the other ship inside the ship. You know what I mean? It's just graphical, you know. I could have turned off all the colliders, but I really wanted to kind of get them all working. I gotta get done eating, watch TV with the wife. You're still streaming. So let's, yeah, let's not sleep it. And let's hope for the best. I still think there's issues. I think it's gonna fly away. Interesting. Okay, it's flying away, but it's hell of a lot more stable. So there's a few more collision layers in the ship that's just completely freaking out that we're gonna need to resolve. It's like predictably in the same spot on both clients. I really wish there was a better way of debugging what's colliding with what. You know, like just in general. Even when I turn on the visual collision layers, I don't see their collisions. Like, I can't see in the ship what is still colliding internally. Right? There's nothing lighting up on that thing. You know, like this one is. See, like I can see that, like, you know what I mean? Like we're on the corners of the main body colliders, which is good, because, you know, that's what it's supposed to be doing. It's sitting in gravity, and gravity's pulling down. But like, I can't see anything internal. I've put myself inside this thing, and it still doesn't, you know, care. Like, let's, seems it's just spinning in place. Let's see if we can figure out, right, like, so we have them turned on, and we know it's an internal collision. Oh my god, it's the ramp. It's the stupid ramp. No way. Why? Is that the only thing left? Is it just the ramp? Is that it? I'll just turn it off for the time being. But the ramp should be on the same collision layer. Well, it needs to affect the player, but let me yeah, why would the ramp should only be affecting the player and the I need to make this not editable now. Go away, thanks. Because it's on the ship layer and not the player layer. Oh, you piece of... If anything, I should have put it on 3, affecting 1. What? Why is that a thing? Why is that not affecting the... For now, I'm gonna kill it. I want to just see if this works. And obviously we have a dash interface, but that's fine. That doesn't matter. All that matters is tomorrow. I want players to... nope, they're still... Oh, I see the other collision. Hang on, there's one more still. One more. What's the other layer? No, it's the ramp is still... It can't be the ramp. Oh my god. No way. That is not what I think it is. That is not what I think it is. If it is, that's gonna be the dumbest thing ever. Hang on. So in the ship, in the final thing, in the interior, I think there's custom panels right here that have colliders on them. I don't think it's an interior, I would have saw it. These. Oh my god, they do exist. These walls supports have a collision shape because they're used for... Oh no. They don't need to exist anymore. That is so dumb. Yeah, because we don't ever do collisions on the actual, like, you know, dynamic piece. So whatever way I just have the I don't even know why they're there, because they're not even lined up correctly. They're just clipping. Anyway, that's the issue. But so what was my ramp? I kind of want to fix my ramp. Yeah, and was that the good ramp? The bad ramp? You are 2 affecting 1, I think. I see. Could you drop a ball with gravity and its own collider to see if it flips through? Oh, you could, yeah. Alright, let's go. I can't wait, man. Like, it takes a while to mess with the assets. What's the deal now? Every play mode is like a new adventure of internal collisions. You guys see any red? I do. On the back corner. I think it's an item port. This is the actual game, just looking for red stuff. It's a game within a game. I wish I could just have those. I'm just thinking of doing like shader fix in Godot and port back to Unity. It doesn't help that the masses are not defined either, so everything that's a rigid body is like one unit, so it has equal weight to the ship. Oh, I see it. Is it underneath the gas tank? I just saw something go under the gas tank. Can we pause it? Wait, you can pause play mode and look around? Okay, that changes everything. It's slower, but... Yeah, so what is that? Under the seats. Yeah, because these are all fine. Oh, there's colliders. Okay, there's another stupid panel. If it gives me good results, like trying to replicate something in Blender by baking it and setting it up in Unity with standard or custom shaders, I can skip it. This is great. I didn't know we could pause the game and still go around with camera override. That's amazing. Yeah, so there's a custom panel in the base of the floor. And a collider here, just hitting nothing. Okay, this is cool. So we can see like exactly what physics simulation is happening at this frame. Yes, what is that panel? There must be a collider on the... Yeah, I don't even know what that is. What is that? Is it on the interior? I think all these hard points can be deleted. But I think we're adding those outside the ship now. Yep. Hard points can go from the scene. And I don't think it was up here. Nope. So under one of these modules. I bet it was a shower module. There it is. What are you? A static body 3D. Unnecessary, because there's no floor gliders needed. Bye-bye. Thanks for the biddies. Hell yeah. Yeah, let me, like, you know, just let me know how you do with things. Like I said, expect growing pains. Don't expect it to be working perfect. If it was working perfect, everyone would use it. It's, you know, they're slowly working on it. But hey, you know, what it's free. You know, like you will, it will improve. And what is this one? This must be just our area for defining whether we're in the shower or not, which we just turn off. Okay, shower module is good. So there has to be another one. Oh yeah, there's gotta be more. God, I wish we could like filter out only specific things in the view itself. I could imagine going to school and doing this professionally. I really enjoy it as a hobby to keep me occupied. Hey, Irad! Welcome, welcome. Wow, my overlay is huge. Hey, Lance. Guess what we're doing, Lance? We have reached the level where we are bringing the ship in, the final art. I've finished. I have finished my process of moving everything over. Hey, Finn. So what I'm doing here is we have our empty test scene, and you know, so as a Patreon, you will be happy to know that we will no longer be flying, you know, the gray box version, which is just for prototyping, because we will be flying the final version. Well, it's not final, you know. Once I get it all into this, like it's the final Unity version. So I have the old. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff from Unity we need to get rid of. I don't even know how someone could take in everything in 4 years. You have to keep at it forever. It's not even I can't wait to take your first spin. I'm hoping now. So what we're doing, we're playing Track Down the Hidden Colliders, the game. So as you can see, she's spinning. But check this out. This is something that you can do now in Godot. I don't know if you know you can do this. But we can do this. We can come over here. We can pause the game. We can bring it over here. Oh. We can do this. We can turn on camera mode, so we can figure out what's happening with the ship. Then we can pause it. And then while we're paused, we're going to go and we're going to look for red. Okay, so there's still... What is that? Oh, the side colliders? No. There must be a collider in the old seats. And there's still something on the side here that's being a pain. There must be a collider inside the shape. Right, so once we find all the... that looks like one of my landings. Oh. Yeah, you guys aren't seeing the whole screen, I'm sorry. I'm streaming on ultra wide. But let me move this over. Yeah, so that's what's left. Whatever's happening here with this seat, secondary seat, and whatever's happening with whatever this side thing is. I didn't even know you could pause Godot and move the camera around. You can, just hit the little camera override button. Like, you don't really need the inspector. Like, you can kind of... It's still not like Unity. No, it's still not like Unity, but you can get around. And not really got into the C# mechanics engine of tools before this year. Oh, you haven't really got into C# mechanics engine of tools before this year. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, we're like still a little bit too low in the cockpit. I think we can bring it down here. Anyway, let's. I was going to go raid someone, but we're going to stick around and see if we can fix this. So left seat has a collider still. So there's still. And I wonder if it's the old seat. Yeah, so it must be in the cockpit. Somewhere here in the cockpit, we have colliders that are not working. Is that a bottle? Oh yeah, let me give you a shout out here. If you guys aren't following IRAD, make sure to give them the follow. So this left wall. But to answer your question, yeah, you gotta have. How are you gonna drink your beer, Lance? How are you gonna drink your beer if there's not a place to put your beer? You know, beer. You gotta have a place for your cigars. You know, you're already in space. Your chance of living is pretty low. I mean, you're probably just gonna blow up or run out of oxygen or something. So I mean, you know, what's alcohol gonna do? You know. What are you? So the seat with rail is separate. You are an Area 3D. But I don't think you do anything. No. And I don't see, I see a co-pilot station and a pilot station. Yeah, and I don't believe the seat and pedals have any colliders. I hope to have a spot for my fuzzy dice. The fuzzy dice will happen. Yeah, so this animation tree doesn't work. I really wish I could get this working. And it's weird because the animation itself just seems to be looking for the correct, you know, ship pedals. Wait. Wait a second. Pedal left base. No, it wants to be up. Yeah. It wants to be adjacent to them in the animation. It's very annoying. I mean, I could fix this myself, but you know, this should work. Unless the root of the animation. Yeah, ship pedals. And it's looking for dot. And this. Oh yeah, like there's like a explanation mark or some shit on the end of this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna redo it. Everyone's tutorials and workflow is Photoshop. That's why I'm thinking of switching. Because complex stuff is just getting harder. You're on the fence about getting Photoshop. I like the GIMP. Or Krita. I think Krita is amazing. But, you know, the real tool is still Substance Designer and Substance Painter. Those are, you know, I really wish Adobe didn't buy them. But the shit you can do with Substance Designer and Substance Painter is amazing. Yeah, look. Let me show you how stupid it is to add a mask or something. Like, actually, you know what? Like, look at this. Looking at it here. Look at this.
So, you want to understand how generators traditionally work. Not a problem. Now, Adobe defines a generator as basically
Look at how many
something
seconds
that
it
generates
is.
a
You know
mask
what I mean?
based on your model's topology. For this tutorial, we will
Let
specifically
me,
be looking at the edgeware generator. So, to start, just
Hi, please. Let's pause.
have your base material, and then drag the material that you want to represent the wear and tear along the edges. I'm just gonna pick iron galvanized,
They're you
and
and
there's a bunch of
ID
settings down here that you can
workflows
play with,
uni-
but the defaults are
uniquely
usually more than
terrible, though.
fine. From here, right-click and
Right,
make a
like,
black mask.
it's
Then
so
right-click
dumb.
the
Like,
mask
there's so
and
many
add
like
a
cool
generator.
masks
Then
that you
click
just
down
drag
here
and drop,
and
and
pick
you're
what
like,
you need.
ooh,
I'm
sci-fi
looking for metal edgeware,
materials.
so that's what I'm gonna pick.
Right.
And you're done.
Yeah,
Now, as
it's like-
usual, every single generator will give you different options that you can mess with. For metal edgeware specifically, it targets the mask around the sharp edges of your model. You can randomize the wear and tear by clicking the C.
My
invert
hope
the
is I
entire
have 1
effect
year
here.
to
Change the
eventually
amount of
do
wear
enough
with this.
work
If you want the
to
contrast to be sharp, move
buy
this
the
up,
next
otherwise
version.
move it down.
I have
If
it
you
for
get
free
weird-looking
right now.
seams, try changing this to tri-planar. If you want more
But I mean,
crunch,
like, I just want to
increase
get
this.
things done. I
Scale
don't care
change
about the
changes
art,
size of
you
the
know? I mean,
entire
I
map.
do
The
care
lower
about
this
the art,
value, the smoother
but I
the
only
edges
care
will
about
look.
the
If you want
art
your
from
AO
the
map to affect the generator mask, you
overarching
can increase
assets
this.
perspective.
And I'm not
You know what I
entirely
mean?
sure
Like,
what
does it
sharp
look good?
material
Okay,
does,
cool.
but I
You know?
think it means the sharper
I
the
care
edge,
about the
more
thing
wear and tear
itself.
will be
Like,
drawn.
this is a
But feel free
quantum
to correct
drive.
me
This
in
is
the
what it
comments
does.
below if I'm wrong.
This is how
And
it
what
works.
of other cool generators
And,
I recommend
you know, the
try,
art
like
obviously
dirt,
is the visual
dripping rust,
representation of that, but
curvature, inflate, shrink wrap, fiberglass, and UV checker. And if you ever want to see what a mask
So-
generator is doing, just hold down Alt.
we are required to basically like map out UDIMs, like you were using like old material mass method. I hate it so much. What's a UDIM? UDIM. There's an UDIM workflow is an enhancement to the for UVs. Oh, like putting all of your UVs on one to using the UDI workflow begins with UV mapping and extra geometry, blah blah blah. Yeah, okay, it's just a UV layering system. Gotcha. But it's super cool though, like just what you can create just with a few clicks. Like it's crazy, like when it comes to that. And Substance Designer is even like node based, crazy. I watched a guy in the Godot Discord just like make anything with Substance Designer itself. It's crazy, faster than you can model. There's also like UDIM texturing. The idea is to increase textile density. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't gone down that rabbit hole yet. I have the tools, I just don't have the time. And decrease it like where you don't need it for B-Band purposes. So pedals are not the problem. Where is our problem? Where's the thing that's bouncing? We turn off the cockpit. And it's not. Wait. No. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, this floor shouldn't be here because we're using our own. That's this collision shape. Oh yeah, but that collision shape doesn't matter anyway because we turned them off. What else would be in the cockpit? Right? We have the sides, but they're not technically considered in the cockpit. I don't see any other colliders. Unless I'm blind. Oh, the scanner. Maybe. Although I didn't see anything here. The scanner, I think I turned into a rigid body, and I don't think its collision shape is affecting the player. No. So I don't think that's it. That's fine. What is the one inside the seats? What is this one? Just an Area 3D. Which we can just turn off because we're not going to be using it. But I don't think that's it. I don't think we have anything here. Yeah, I feel like it was like this sidewall colliding with something that's not. But then, yeah, I don't see another. There's nothing that it should be colliding with. Yeah, that's what we. That's how we use it for environmental work. Universal pixel density across the entire environment via UDIMs. Things I really think okay for substance, and that type of UDIM workflow isn't very compatible for my purposes since I'm not doing cutscenes or movie renders. It's such a labor. So is that for film, Finn? Like, do you guys do like film-based renders, or is it still game development related? Well, you can still use the Blender game engine. It's just called something else. Yeah, this one. This is the fork that keeps the game engine integrated. It's for Unreal Engine. Okay, cool. You know, which I actually recommend to people who only use Blender if they want to kind of play around with their assets. It's not like, What version of Blender? Let me see what they're actually up to. Yeah, it's only based on Blender 3.6, so it's definitely old. Too bad. Oh wait, the alpha is based on 4.2. Okay, cool. So they are slowly keeping up with it. That sounds very like next level for people, equipped to use Blender UE5 workflow. But anyway, keep that in mind. Anyway, it's one. We gotta go raise someone. I was really hoping we get this knocked out. Anyway, it'll be for tomorrow. So tomorrow night, I'll see if I can get the rest of these colliders wrangled. And we'll get the ship viable. I'm gonna start putting the station back together. Thanks for the follow, Vicious. And if you guys are interested in the work, like we have a few Patreons, but the game is in continuous development, and $5 gets you access to the build. Hey, Ilona Studio. And $10 gets you your own little apartment, which totally doesn't work right now. But it's all being rebuilt. So this is what I do every Sunday. I just push a build, until we're caught back up to where we were in Unity, which hopefully will be, within a few weeks. So that's the best way to, fund the game. If it's something you're interested in, and also other than that, check out the Discord. And where's the build? We can use it on GitHub? No, it's just on Google Drive. I just manually. I don't have enough Patreons that I have to automatically kind of automate that workflow. So I just do it manually. Oh no, I'm assuming that didn't work and we're not stable. Where are you, ship? Yep, Sunlight Rev. Is the link to the bio? Oh, for the Patreon? It's there. Yep, still spinning. There's so much to fix in this build. Whee. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Yeah, that's the... And like I said, you know, it's definitely not the Unity build anymore. Right? So there's still things that are going to be, you know, it's like everything. At least you're able to watch me work on it. So there's no wool being pulled over anyone's eyes, you know. Yeah, no worries. But I'm hoping, Lance, that we'll get these like the hanger the head customizations working soon. Those are the next ones I'm going to do. As soon as the ships are working, I'm going to get all the furniture in, so we can go and buy, you know, furniture. Oh, where's the other one? You know, you gotta go to one of the shops, buy a whole. Oh, yeah, I gotta fix that stupid motion. Buy a bunch of furniture, and then you know, snap it into your hab, and it'll save. So that'll be cool. I love customizing, like, you know, areas. Yeah, I have no idea, like, you know, like I say what it's going to entail, but yeah, and once they're like a part of the furniture, you bookmark the page. Hell yeah. Yeah, I can make no promises at this point. You know, I can only tell you what the game's going to be like and explain all the wonderful things in my head. But I'm really happy, man, with this terminal. For the accepted missions and stuff. This turned out to be so much better than I thought it was going to. If I'm looking for something to test, I'll definitely check it out. Hell yeah. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there again. It's just gonna take a little bit. Yeah, at least I can get the stuff working this time. You know, where we actually enter and it, you know, locks onto the ship, and we have the actual customization terminal that actually works. You know, like I want to be able to, like, you know, pull it in, have everything loading in. You know, having the cargo, like the storage area, working and stuff. So I'm hoping this time around it'll come together a lot quicker. It's just going to take a while to get the assets remapped, and then once all the assets are remapped and the players, you know, back to normal, and I can start doing features again. Because right now all of this, right, is it's just art, right? All the prefabs are here. They just don't have any code, right? They're all just as they were coming from Unity, and that'll change. That'll be this whole like the next pretty much 4 weeks will be just reintegrating, you know, like the art back to the mechanics again. And that's why I'm hoping to make a Blender plugin to help. So let's go raid someone. You guys are awesome. Let's mute myself. Hey, Aaron. You too, Finn.
Right here. Thank you so much for the raid.
I'm sorry, I'm like...
That's fine. River, how was your stream? I'm sorry that I'm pressing too many buttons to do like shoutouts and stuff now. They subscribed for 6 months, currently on a 4-month streak. Raver, that's so many months. Thank you for the sub. How was your stream? What were you up to? Hi, Lance. Welcome.
You wanna do your shout outs real quick?